Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Alright, welcome back everybody, Straight Hustling here, and today I got some Black Ops 3 gameplay on PC, and believe it or not, I'm using a controller. I'm not using your standard controller. My Xbox 360 controller is old as fuck. It's one of the first ones that came out for Windows, and I still have it laying around. There's no reason for me to change it out, but today I'm using the stick and move button layout for the controller. I've seen a few videos on YouTube. People were talking about stick and move is a good alternative to using a controller if you don't have a SCUF controller for the jumping and everything like that. But the one issue I found with this is the slide. The slide is all the way on the B button, and that's just too far for me to take my hand off my aiming stick to hit. So that's probably one thing I would say about that. Other than that, it's not a bad button layout. It takes some time to get used to. You'll see in this gameplay I do a lot of weird movements because I'm usually using the layout where you bumper jumper, I think it is, or jumper bumper, whatever the fuck it's called. I usually use that and it works out pretty good for me, but for aiming and moving in the air and trying to use bumper jumper, it's a hassle for me, you know what I mean? But it's not bad. You just have to get used to it. It's one of those things where you have to train yourself to use the button layout because you're used to other buttons. Now I don't normally use controllers on PC depending on the game, you know what I mean? I just wanted to try this out to see what all the fuss was about, and it's not bad. Like I said, it takes some getting used to. Once you got it down, I'm pretty sure you can do well with this. It doesn't matter if you're a good or a bad player. At the end of the day, it comes down to your accessories, your controller, your mindset, and what you want to do in the game, and actually setting out to going and doing it. You know what I mean? This was my first game of the day. Yeah, it's 14-4. It's not an amazing gameplay, but for someone who rarely uses a controller on PC, 14-4 on Team Deathmatch on PC, for me that's pretty fucking decent. You know what I mean? The community on PC for Black Ops, it's fairly small. It's not like console. Console has a crazy following, crazy player numbers online any given day. On PC, the numbers go up depending on new content and if it's the weekend or not. If it's today, regular fucking Thursday, the player count online is a piece of shit. It's like a couple hundred people, and 90% of the playlist is on TDM. And right now, it's split. It's about 60-30. 30% of the playlist is in domination right now because of the new challenges they got going on with the objective kills and all that. So that's why 30% of the playlist is in domination. But that still leaves 60% of the playlist in TDM. You know what I mean? And you might go down the list. You might see 1% somewhere in like demolition or something like that. And you can try to join that game, and you won't. It won't find it for you because matchmaking on here is a piece of shit, and everyone knows that. But today it was all about the button layout and trying it out and seeing how good it is or how good it could be. And I did have a few issues. Like I said, I did have a few issues. You can see it in the gameplay. But overall, I mean, it's very viable. If you don't want to, hash out the money for a SCUF controller, and I understand, SCUF controllers aren't cheap. For $200, I can fucking feed my whole family for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? That's $200 right there. I mean, you can get it for a little bit cheaper, I'm sure. 160, 170, something like that, if you don't add all the bells and whistles to it. But that's still enough money for me to do other things that are important to me, other than just a controller that I might drop one day and the shit might break. Or, the rumble pack inside might come loose, and half the shit might rumble and the other half might not. It's little things like that can happen. And if you don't put insurance on your stuff, you won't be able to get that stuff fixed. You'll have to hash out the money for another controller. That's another 160, 170 or more out of your pocket. So that's why I was trying this button layout out. I do recommend it. At least give it a shot. Go into a custom game or something like that, put some bots on, and check it out. It's not a bad button layout. I think it can be very, very viable for people who don't want to buy a SCUF controller, and that's completely fine. You know what I mean? If you don't want to pay for it, don't pay for it. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to do this. But overall, my verdict is just this button layout is not bad. Not bad at all. Will I continue to use it? Yeah. I'll leave it on there, if I decide to continue to use the controller. I probably won't. I mean, I'll probably do a couple more gameplays for today, just to get a really good feel for it, because like I said, this is my first game of the day. I played 2 games with this button layout. This is the one I posted. This was the first one. The second one we got fucking stomped on. I ain't even gonna lie. The same guys that are on my team for this match ended up being on the other team for the next game, and we just got fucking stomped. But you know, check it out. That's all I can say. It's a good button layout. You might want to remap a few things. I know on console you can remap the buttons through the PlayStation. The only thing about that, I would say, remember what you remapped, because when you remap buttons on the PlayStation or you remap buttons on the Xbox, those buttons will affect what you do inside the menus of the PlayStation and everything like that. So if you change circle to X, or you know, Y to B, those buttons will affect how you navigate your console. So keep that in mind if you decide to remap buttons. Other than that, you know, the gameplay is coming to an end soon, so I want to thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the video and everything like that. You could be watching somebody else, and for some reason you're here watching my video, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Drop a like if you liked the video. If you got anything to say, any questions you want to ask me, drop a comment down below. I always reply, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.